Hey y'all, welcome back to our channel. We are continuing with our 30 Days of Williams Syndrome, where we interview people with Williams Syndrome and our friends and anybody else that we can get on this channel with us. Huh? Yeah. And we have Jen and Stella with us today, and we're so excited to have you guys here.
Whoa! Excited?
Woohoo!
Excited.
I think y'all kind of look alike. Like y'all, I can tell that you're her mother. I can. Yeah, I was looking at pictures of Stella. On the Styles by Stereotypes. I was looking at her pictures, and I was like, you can tell that that's her mom. Y'all look alike.
Oh, that's so sweet. I know.
I
none
do
of my
love
kids
my
both
mom
make long
too.
hair. You do look like your mom. I think when I met your mom at convention. I mean, I think you both look like your mom for sure, but you guys have the dark hair. Both my kids have white hair. I don't know how that happened.
Yeah, she does have lighter hair. Stella, do you love your mama?
Yeah.
She's cool.
Sometimes.
Huh? Yeah. I think that's how Alexander feels about me. She loves me, and then sometimes she's like, she's still here. That's what. So you treat me sometimes. Okay, so we know Jen through the Williams Syndrome Association. We did a podcast with you because you do the podcast for Williams Syndrome. And you had us on one time. So I guess, how did you get so involved with the association? 'Cause that's how I know of you. But, like, how did you get interconnected with that? Yeah.
I'm trying to think. It's been a while ago. So Stella was diagnosed with Williams syndrome at 5, and it was like a real sudden thing. And I am just a seeker of knowledge. So immediately when I suspected that this is probably what she had, I started doing all this research, which, as you guys know, kind of leads you to the Williams Syndrome Association. That's who has like most information about supporting somebody with Williams syndrome. And so I just got really involved, and it was like Stella got diagnosed formally with Williams syndrome in January, and by July we were like at our first convention in Columbus, Ohio, which was an amazing experience. And it's just as you guys also know, like once you start being around people with Williams syndrome, it's such a magnetic community that then I just was connected, and I started doing things not to the level that you are all doing it, but I started posting things on social media and just pushing Williams syndrome awareness in our local community. And then that led me to the podcast. So a couple years ago, the Williams Syndrome Association was like, we're thinking about doing a podcast. And I was like, I would love to help. And they said, would you like to co-host it? And I thought, that's weird, because my voice is like not podcasting material. But I was like, sure, why not?
Yeah, it is.
It is.
I think you do great on the podcast, actually.
Oh,
I like can't envision it with anybody else.
Really? I think your voice
everybody
is great.
doesn't like the sound of their own voice. I think it's a perk, because I'll walk in and she'll be playing one of our videos and I'm like, oh, my voice. Yep. So, So how long have you been doing the podcast?
We've been doing the podcast for a little over 2 years, and we interview people with Williams syndrome, which is really fun. Originally, I thought our focus would be more like the people that support those with Williams syndrome, and it definitely is. We have doctors, we have educators, we have people that are doing work in the Williams syndrome community supporting our folks, but really, like, the majority of people are just individuals living with Williams syndrome, and some of them have awesome, amazing stories, and then some of them are like, I like to take naps all day. And I love that. I love that we are showcasing like the spectrum of Williams syndrome, like the folks that are, doing a lot in the community, and then the folks that aren't, because those stories are all important. And it's important, like, as a parent, I think about, gosh, if I would have had this medium when Stella was diagnosed, it would have been like really helpful for me to understand like what her future could look like. And so I just love like that we're amplifying the voices that are commonly like not heard.
Mm-hmm. No, we love the podcast. It's great. It's very wholesome. It's a very wholesome podcast. I love it.
What
Well,
is
Miss
the whole
Stella.
podcast? Brett, do you know Brendan Alexandra?
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
He's
Yeah, I
real cute.
do.
Real cute and real fun.
He's real cute. Alexander's into firemen.
Cute.
So if he's not a fireman, you know, she's like, oh, they have to be a fireman.
Not your type.
Well, Miss Stella, what do you enjoy doing? What goes on in your world?
You're kind of like out of the shot here, girl, so I'll just move that over. Well, tell them what grade you're in.
8th grade.
8th grade. Almost
Wow.
9th grade.
almost a freshman, y'all.
Oh my gosh. I bet that makes you feel old,
It's getting real
Mama.
serious. Yeah,
Yeah.
it does. It makes me feel old. I can see also my chin's on this call, so it's like everything
Oh
is
my
making
gosh,
me feel
no.
old.
No.
Stella was
You're
really
absolutely
excited
beautiful,
to
and you
talk to you
always
guys
have
about
beautiful
this.
skin.
Oh, that's very nice of you. Stella's really
What do you-
excited to talk to you about what?
My pets.
Yeah, her pets.
Your pets. What kind of pets do you have?
Yes. Guinea pigs.
I know. Your mom actually told me that because we got guinea pigs, and she said, we have guinea pigs too. Well, tell me about your guinea pigs.
What are their names?
Bacon bits and pipsqueak.
Their names are Bacon Bits and Pipsqueak.
I love that. It's so cute. We have 3 guinea pigs, and I feel like they're more like fish. Like we watch them, and they don't let us touch them. Is that how your guinea pigs
Yes.
are? Yeah. I feel like I do a lot of work for
Do
them
you-
with no love in return.
We do. It's the worst pet that I've ever agreed to.
Mommy.
But this one loves them. She loves them
Yeah.
so much. And one of them does let her very aggressively love it.
Aww.
Right? You smother it with kisses. Yes, you love it. What are your 3 guinea pigs' names?
Well, it changes daily. They're my toddler's guinea
Okay.
pigs. So, you know, it's usually Guinea and Pig and Roo. You know, I'm the one that takes care of them, so I should probably give them proper names.
No.
Yeah.
She has
Yeah.
like a little
It's a lot of
grocery
poop.
buggy. Huh? Yes. Now, I will say, I don't know if you're a gardener, but I use our guinea pig poop to fertilize our garden, and it is outstanding.
Really?
Not to be TMI,
Okay,
but
what-
you can use that. They're little pellets of
There's a
gold
lot of
for the
pubes.
garden.
So that's good to know. Okay.
Yes, if you have
Wow.
flowers, if you have, you know, there you go. You just sprinkle them out there. It's great. My tomatoes love it.
So you just
actually.
like you clean them up. Look at where this
Yeah.
podcast is going already.
I know,
you
this is
clean up
great.
the poops and you dump them in.
Well, if we're really going to get into the logistics, I have a bin that I put all their little poopies in. And then when the bin gets a certain amount, then we go out in the garden and we dig a little hole and we put poopies in them, buy all of the plants, and it fertilizes our plants. And so I don't have to buy fertilizer at the store. You know, they are going to earn their keep at our house.
I like this. I like this idea. This makes me happy. So you dig a hole first, okay?
Yeah.
Wow.
Like a little hole. Like, you know, we just put little golden nuggets down in it. And Alexander does not participate in this whatsoever. Just physical labor is not in her wheelhouse.
Yes.
But she'll sit with me.
Girl, we are the same over here. Like there's no cleaning up of any guinea pig poops in our house, is there? No.
Do you like to feed them?
Yeah.
Yeah. See, my daughter loves to feed them. She feeds them every morning, but that's like the extent of what she does. But I think that's really cute.
Yeah. Yeah, they are real cute. What other animals do you have, Stell?
2 dogs.
2 dogs.
2 dogs.
And
Are you still a little more
tortoise.
partial to the guinea pigs than the dogs? You like the guinea pigs better?
Mommy, do I have a giant one?
You have a giant dog, yes, and a little dog. Which ones do you like better? The guinea pigs or the tortoise or the dogs?
Mommy,
What?
it's funny.
You like the pigs the best, I think.
Yes.
Yeah, she likes the pigs the best. They're her favorite.
I like dogs more than guinea pigs.
Yeah. Alexander's like, why is there so much poop all the time? I'm like, that's a good question. Yeah.
So do you like the dogs more than the chickens?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, Alexander actually hates chickens.
I can't.
Yeah, she does. It's, I don't know. Why do you hate the chickens?
You don't go
They're
collect the
annoying.
eggs?
Against her will. She will against her will.
Against her will.
Don't
Yep.
make me.
Yeah, she thinks they're annoying.
She's like, all they do is blah, 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 blah. Well, that's true.
Whoa.
Uh-huh. No. So, Stella, does she have any health conditions that are related to her Williams syndrome, or has she ever had to deal with anything of that nature?
Do you have any health conditions? What?
Yeah,
Yeah, you do, right? What do you have?
not good.
Not good. What is it?
Oh. Is it where my kidneys are?
That's a different one. You have high blood
Pressure.
pressure.
That's not good.
Yeah.
Do you have it, Alexandra?
Do I? No.
No. She,
No.
I think we deal more with
Anxiety.
and phobias now as an adult, and that's really her big thing that we have to work around. But as for like health conditions, organ wise, she's never had any cardiac issues or high blood pressure or anything like that. Yeah, but we still go to the cardiologist. So has Stella always had high blood pressure? Is this something new or?
Yeah, she had. So you guys can imagine when I found out that Stella. What are you doing? Are you turning away? What's happening?
No.
Oh, okay. When I found out that she had Williams syndrome, like I said, it was a really sudden thing. And actually the way that it happened was somebody said, Stella reminds me of a student I used to teach who has Williams syndrome. And I went out in the car and I Googled Williams syndrome, and all of these pictures showed up of all these people who looked exactly like Stella.
Yeah.
And so I'm like reading through all of the traits of somebody with Williams syndrome, and one of them is that cardiac stuff, right? And so literally the first 2 weeks where I was waiting to get into a cardiologist and determine if Stella had Williams syndrome were like so agonizing for me, because I was like, what if she has some major cardiac problem and I have no idea? What if I have no idea? So I think I didn't sleep for those 2 weeks. I just watched her sleep and prayed that nothing was wrong. Really, like her cardiac stuff is mild for like the Williams syndrome spectrum, but as because the missing component is elastin, that's the gene that triggers somebody having Williams syndrome. It's one of those things that cardiovascularly it can progress over time. So kind of what happens, I don't know if you guys have ever talked about this on your podcast, but
No, we haven't.
The missing elastin, with the missing elastin, it's like your arteries are a little bit loose, and so the blood isn't pumping as precisely through them as they should. So because they're a little loose in their expansion and contraction, over time they start stiffening, and that's what leads to the high blood pressure, unless somebody has already like some sort of stenosis or narrowing of their vascular system. It's almost like an accelerated aging is what I say. Like, how like maybe your parents or your grandparents like take medicine for their heart to control their blood pressure, is the same thing with Williams syndrome. So many of our folks may not have the severe stuff, like the things that we think cause open heart surgeries and those severe things that we all want to stay away from. But a lot of them are living with conditions like high blood pressure, or gastrointestinal challenges,
Yeah.
so on and so forth.
Yeah, I think a lot of her friends have gastrointestinal issues for sure.
They do.
And the elastin, it can cause issues with their joints as well, correct?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Do you have that, Alexandra?
I have luxating patella in both my kneecaps.
Yeah, she does.
Yep.
She's supposed to wear braces,
Yeah.
but she doesn't
Doesn't do it. Understand.
because they're too
Understandable.
uncomfortable. So,
Yeah.
but
Stella and I are getting ready to go on a trip to Japan for school, which is going to be so fun, but it's going to be a lot of walking, and I'm really nervous because, like, I don't know about you, Alexandra, but if Stella has to walk a lot, our attitude goes down real fast.
I think it's any uncomfortableness. Yeah. I guess it's a sensory thing too. They just don't. And that was one thing when she was a baby, my mom noticed early on is if she got uncomfortable, it was too hot or too, she was so triggered about it all the time. So it was one thing where she was like, something's not right here with this one.
Yep.
Right here.
Yep.
So, but.
It's so true. And you were saying that, like, anxiety is a big issue for you, Alexandra, like, now that you're older. And I know that that's also common, too. Stella has a lot of anxiety. And I think when she was younger, she had a lot of ADHD or, like, just inability to, like, focus on anything. But what I've seen as she's gotten older is anxiety is really starting to creep up. And a lot of the folks I interview, I hear that, too. Like, I think last week we were supposed to do our podcast, and I was worried about it because there was a big storm here.
Yeah.
And that's one that can trigger Stella.
Mm-hmm. You get triggered by storms too, huh?
I don't like them.
No, she doesn't like them. She gets really bad anxiety. Always thinks something really bad is going to happen, and we have to take our deep breaths, But I will say that's something that I guess isn't talked about as much, because especially when we've done interviews, they always label her as like the happy syndrome and like you're always happy and loving, which I mean, I will say was more the case when she was younger, but more now into adulthood, it definitely we have more anxiety. We have, you don't run up to people and just randomly give them hugs anymore. So it definitely like kind of changes into adulthood, I would say, and it seems pretty common with other people that we've interviewed.
I know better not to go up to someone I don't know now.
Yeah, but when you were little, you didn't know.
I know.
I know. Would you say like is true for Stella? Like I know you say she can be a little spicy sometimes, but has she always been that way, or do you think it's transitioned more as she's gotten older?
Yeah, I was actually thinking about you guys because it was like when we were first like early into like our stuff with social media, one of the things that I thought would be fun was to do like an interview with Chris from Special Books by Special Kids.
Oh yeah.
And I was like I probably have the only person with Williams syndrome who is not happy. So that was my selling point. I was like, I have an unhappy Williams syndrome person. And apparently that wasn't enough to get on the show.
I think it should be because it's an oddity, like, well, I don't know. I don't know how they would label it, but no, I find it interesting for sure. And it gives a good perspective that they're not all the same. They're not all happy and all of y'all are different.
We are different.
Y'all are all different in your own way, and it's okay. So, no, I think it's good to raise awareness of that too. That maybe if someone else has a Williams syndrome child that's not as happy and portrayed that they're supposed to be this way, that it's okay.
Yeah.
If that makes
sense.
And
I appreciate you guys saying
that. Makes sense.
No, it absolutely does. I appreciate you guys saying that because I know in the beginning of our diagnosis, like that was really hard on me. Like specifically, I remember us going to Williams syndrome camp, and Stella had like a huge meltdown in the line, and one of the moms was like, "Oh, like I'm gonna pray for you," and I was like, "Oh God, like even in my own community, like I'm different, right? Because there are so many happy, sweet kids." And I've learned through the course of my journey, I've met them, that not every person with Williams syndrome is happy, and a lot are quite spicy. So I know I'm not the only one, but I think that's just like what we hear. And I think you're right.
Yeah.
It maybe does have something to do with age, right? Like as our kids age, they get less of the happiness and more of the anxiety. I definitely see that like more in adults. But
Yeah.
I mean, the first time I met Alexandra, when I met her at convention, she was like, "You're so pretty," and she was so complimentary to
I was
me and
being
to Stella.
serious.
You're very sweet. So I know that that's part of your personality. It's just not all of it, right? You're sassy too.
Oh, she's quite spicy. She can be spicy. Yeah, we get a lot of comments, and they're
actually
like,
have a
"She's
question
so happy. You must be so lucky to have such." And I'm like, "I am. Of course I am. But don't let it fool you, okay? She's got spice." Anyway, what were you about to say?
Oh, I was just gonna say, I have a question for you guys.
Okay.
If I can.
No, of course you can.
Speaking of this like spiciness, right? Speaking of the spiciness that our people have, like your sisters, and I mean, I didn't grow up with a sister, so I don't know what it's like. But like Stella has a sister, and they fight all the time. Is that your experience in your life? Has that gotten to be less as you've gotten
Is it
older?
older,
I'd love
younger
to
sister?
hear. Yeah.
Is it her
Younger.
older, younger sister? Younger. Well, see, like you have to pick on your younger sister, Stella, right? That's just what you got to do. No, we do. Do you pick on your sister? Do you mess with her and play jokes? Yeah.
Mommy,
Do you mess with her and play jokes, or are you just mean?
and I apologize.
Oh, you're mean and you apologize. Yeah.
Well, Alexander doesn't apologize to me sometimes, so
Whoa.
that's very nice of you, Stella. No, we do. We pick and fight like normal sisters, but I will say we're both we get over things pretty fast, a lot faster than I guess most siblings would.
Mm-hmm.
But I think when we were younger, we fought a lot more than we do now. Wouldn't you say?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because like I guess Alexander never really understood boundaries, and which is fine with me now. Like I don't care. But when I was a teenager, going through my hormonal teenager phase, I'd be like, "Oh my god, get out of my stuff, get out of my room, quit wanting to hang out with my friends." So kind of those things. But I know I was a little brat.
She sure was.
Well, I mean, I feel like we all go through that stage. You're like, you're going through your hormonal brat stage right now. But we'll digress.
Let's not start that.
Okay. I'm picking on you. Anyway, so I think we did fight a lot more when we were younger than we do now. I think it's just part of growing up. On my end, I would say.
Yeah, because are you younger?
I'm the oldest. She's the youngest. And then it was always like a thing when I would have like a boy over and we would watch TV. My mom would send Alexandra to like sit in the chair on the opposite side of the room to like babysit us. And anyway, and she'd be like, "Are you holding hands? Did mom say you could hold hands? I'm gonna go tell her." And I'd be like, "Alexandra, get out of here, get out." Anyway, so.
Whoa!
Well, you were a teenager, and I had to.
I know. Like it's normal sibling stuff.
Well,
Anyway, so it's normal.
You guys seem to get along really well. I mean, like really, and I don't know. That's like one thing that I worry about with Stella is, like again, we were talking about that happy personality, right? Like, and actually, it's common in I've heard it a lot that like sometimes it's hard for the sibling without Williams syndrome to have a sibling with a disability. So I was just wondering if like you guys had those challenges growing up. It seems like you work through them and work together really well.
No, we have. I think it was a lot in, how we were brought up by our mom. She, never showed favoritism or if I did feel as if maybe Alexander was getting a little bit more in attention, like as a young child, it was always communicated with me. And like I'm not playing favorites. Alexander, she just needs a little more attention right now at this time. But once we get past this, we'll be fine. I don't know. And we kind of worked through it and worked it out. But she did say when we were like young, because I guess you would have been like 2, so I would have been 5. I'd be like, Mom, why don't you love me? Like as a little kid, but I feel like all kids go through that when they have like a younger sibling come in. It's like, wait, I'm not the only one anymore. I'm not the only one getting all the attention anymore. So, but, huh? Oh,
What are you
she's
gonna
bored.
say, Stella Rue?
She's leaving us.
No, she's just
Stella, we
moving.
love
She's
you.
wiggling.
Huh?
They said they love you.
Thanks.
We do.
Yeah,
she's beautiful, and she has beautiful
She's
hair.
She's a pretty fun one. Of course, never when you like want her to be fun, but right now maybe.
No, we
Do you
love
have more
her.
questions for?
We can't wait to meet y'all
for
in person.
Maria? Yeah.
I met her.
Well, I know. I haven't.
I know. We are excited. We are excited to meet you too, and it's going to be like so much fun. I don't know if you guys are ready to be immersed in this fashion world, but it's so much fun. You had fun at the fashion show last year, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're going to have to help us
You
out,
sure
Stella.
Yeah.
You know what you're doing, and we don't, so you're going to have to help us out.
Can you do that?
Show us the ropes.
Yes.
You can teach us?
Yes.
Alexander needs to know how to do a catwalk.
Oh,
She needs help.
I
on
feel
that.
like you already know how to do it. You guys start thinking about your song. Like what song you want to walk out to.
We had to do that. We had to do that. Well, one more question before we get off here. Since Stella's a little different in the Williams syndrome community, do you think that she also has like an affinity to music? Does music seem to bring her joy, and does she know a lot of songs and pick up on things easily? Yeah?
Oh yeah, tell them about what your favorite song is.
What?
What's your favorite song?
Your favorite song?
What is it?
What is it?
What?
Yeah. What song do you love to sing?
Spangle.
Tell 'em.
Star Spangled Banner.
Star Spangled Banner.
Really? That's impressive.
Yes.
Good job, Stella.
Yeah.
Do you know all the words?
One of her most. Yes, and she actually knows it in a couple different languages. Right? Which ones?
That's like really impressive.
French.
French and you know it in Spanish, right?
In Spanish.
Yeah.
Wow.
Her favorite thing to do, I don't know if you do this, like if there's something that you like when you feel anxious, Alexandra, like
Yeah.
Stella loves to go outside and swing, and she loves to sing
Oh,
the
I
Star
do
Spangled
that
Banner.
too.
You're a swinger?
Aw.
I guess that didn't sound right. Swinger. You like to swing.
Yes. Swing on a swing. Or she'll rock in the rocking chair.
Yeah.
Like a motion, back and
Yes.
forth motion. Mm-hmm. Which I
Yep.
see. I mean, I think
A
it's like
lot.
a calming, because autistic people also will rock or sway to help kind of calm and regulate themselves as well. So, but it helps. Definitely helps. But the Star Spangled Banner,
Yeah,
that is
yes.
great. I love that.
She loves it. And what else do you? Stella plays an instrument at school. She's in the band.
Wow.
Float.
The flute. You'll have to play for us.
Yeah.
I want to hear you play. Yeah. Can you play the Star Spangled Banner on the flute? Are you?
Not quite yet, but we should work on that. Why haven't we worked on that before?
Mommy.
Should we do that?
Ow.
Should we do that?
Yeah.
We should do that, yeah.
Mommy.
I'll have to send him a video of you playing the flute. She does
Yes,
a pretty good
please
job,
do.
right?
Mommy. Yes.
Also very hard instrument if you're a person with low tone. Keeping that arm up is like it's a real challenge,
Yeah.
right?
Well, that's awesome, Stella. Very, very impressive. I wish Alexandra had learned how to play an
Yes.
instrument, but she has no interest.
We have a lot. We have a
interest at all.
music room where, we have a music room where we have a lot of instruments, and it's almost like where those instruments have gone to die because we've tried every instrument. So we have a piano, a trumpet, a clarinet. What else do we have? Drums, harmonica. So we have a lot of instruments. She likes. I've also noticed, like when she was younger, she liked playing those instruments. As she's gotten older, it's moved to like listening to music. She's a big music listener. I know you're the same, right, Alexandra?
Yeah.
What's
I
your
think it definitely
favorite band?
helps with regulating emotions, them listening to music. For sure. Wouldn't you say? It helps calm you down or help you get excited. When you're listening to a sad song, you'll be like rocking and crying in the chair, and I'll be like, let's change the song. let's change to a happy song. Come on now. But anyway, well, thank you guys so much for coming on our podcast with us. We're honored to have you guys here. And I can't wait to meet you, Stella. I'm so excited.
Equally honored. Thank you all so much, and thanks for the work that you're
Thank
doing
you.
for Williams Syndrome Awareness Month. I just got my giant bag of shirts in the mail.
It was so heavy. Thank you so much, though. I really appreciate that. She bought a whole bunch of shirts, and it was like carrying a child to the mail to drop off.
I was impressed with how many shirts you got in that little bag.
I know. I kind of was too. I didn't know how I was going to make that work, but I guess I did. So thank you. I really appreciate that. Thank you so
and
much.
they got here, and it's great. We'll send you some photos of all of our folks getting their merch, huh?
Please
like
send us
that?
some photos.
Yes. Well, I guess I'll see you guys in a couple weeks.
Yes, we'll see you in a couple weeks. We're so excited.
Are you ready? Are you ready for this?
We're so ready.
Yeah.
Yes, Stella. You're going to have to be
I
there
don't think
and
we're
cheer us
ready.
on.
But we will be ready.
We'll make it happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll make it happen. So, all right. You guys stay weird over there. We'll be weird over here. And then soon we'll be weird together. Thank y'all. Y'all have a good day.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye, Stella.